cars go on to look fresh and current despite being around for quite some time, and one such car is the Fiat Punto. Now, Fiat has finally readied a new Punto, and it too, like the internationally upgraded model, is called the Evo. The classic Italian front of the older Punto has now been replaced with a more modern but not so Italian face, which remains unique to the Indian car market. Everything from the new headlight unit to the bumper to the grille and the bonnet has been completely redesigned, and there's a bit of un-Italian chrome thrown in too. If the new front has you fooled, the side profile will remind you that this is in fact not an all-new car. The rear end too is almost the same as before, but now gets a new bumper that also features some chrome surrounds and the same LED tail lamps as the ones seen in the international Punto. But there's something special about this particular car that we are driving. It's this new flamboyant color, and it's called the Glitterati Gold. Step inside and one is greeted by an all-new dashboard similar to the one seen in the new Linea. Gone is the boxy layout and in comes a more rounded approach. With the exception of this 90 horsepower sports variant which gets a sporty all-black interior, the other variants receive a dual-tone black and beige interior. The center console is finished in piano black, and while it looks premium, it does manage to attract fingerprints. The steering wheel is the same as before, but the dials are all new. So it looks and feels brand new. But does it drive differently too? Now what you must understand is this is just a facelift and not a whole generation change. So while you do get a few exterior changes, Fiat have retained all the engines that were on offer on the previous model. So you continue to get a 1.2 litre petrol engine, 1.4 litre petrol engine, and Fiat's acclaimed 1.3 litre multi-jet diesel engine that still has a few years left in it. All three engine options aren't your best bet if all-out performance was all you cared for. Since we were headed out into the hills, we decided to do it with a 90 horsepower, 210 Newton meters diesel engine. Now Fiat's 1.3 litre multi-jet diesel engine has been around for a while now, and it's been the preferred engine choice for even other manufacturers like Maruti and Tata. But those manufacturers have constantly evolved that engine, whereas Fiat, again, even with this current model of Punto, they haven't really changed much with the engine. Now this diesel engine continues to be available in two states of tune, so you get a 75 horsepower version and a 90 horsepower version. Now we've handled a few ghats on the way, quite a few steep inclines as well, and even the 90 horsepower version that we are driving at the moment, well, it struggled a bit. You had to shift from second gear to the first to prevent it from stalling. Now a couple of things that I continue to like about the Punto is the fact that the gear shifts aren't very jerky like you see in quite a few diesel engines. Even things like the movement of this gear stick, now it's not very notchy, it's quite smooth and uninterrupted. So when you're driving the Punto, the new Evo, it just feels at ease. Now one thing that I've had a problem with personally in this diesel car is the long throw of the clutch pedal. Now while it remains lighter than say its German counterparts, it's still a long travel for the clutch pedal, so when you're driving in the city or in traffic, this might just get a little bit painful. So you have to make sure that your driver's seat is adjusted just right so that your knee does not collide with the steering wheel. And thank goodness that in the new Punto Evo, the driver's seat comes with height adjustment, which is quite critical. Now it's not just the engines that Fiat have retained on the new Punto Evo, they've also retained the same suspension setup and the same steering setup, which means mechanically this car is identical to the previous Punto. Punto has always been a benchmark when it comes to ride quality. Now I remember putting it against other hatchbacks in its segment in our comparo tests in the past, and it's always managed to come out on tops. What's helped the ride quality is the fact that it always had a longer wheelbase and the suspension setup was set up just right for India. Now the suspension setup and the wheelbase remains unchanged, which means the Punto continues to be one of the best riding cars in its segment. I think the only car that possibly comes close to it is the new Polo. The Punto has always had a lot of things going for it. It's still one of the best looking hatchbacks that you can buy off the market in India. It's also got all the practicality that you require from a hatchback. It's got a set of engines that perform their basic functions. It's got a really good ride quality. It's got good ground clearance, good interior space. I think the only thing that stood in the way of the Punto, and for that matter any Fiat product in India, was the after-sales support. But now with things set to change at Fiat, I can see a really bright future for the Punto and the other Fiat cars as well. But besides everything else, just take a look at the car. That is one gorgeous hatchback.